When my wife, Emily, said those words to me, I felt something inside me snap. You're not my owner, so you can't ask where I'm going. It wasn't just what she said, it was the way she said it, cold, dismissive, and full of arrogance. We had been married for 6 years, and I had always trusted her. I believed in giving her space, respecting her independence. But lately, she had been going out late, dressing differently, and hiding her phone. When I asked where she was going, that's when she threw those words at me. For a few days, I tried to brush it off. Maybe she was just stressed. Maybe I was overthinking. But something in my gut told me there was more to it. She started spending hours on her phone, leaving it face down on the table. Her work hours suddenly stretched until midnight, even though she used to be home by 7. When I asked about it again, she just laughed and said, "You're getting paranoid, Mark. Don't start acting like a jealous husband." That night, I couldn't sleep. Every little thing started making sense. The sudden perfume that wasn't hers, the text she hid when I walked into the room, the quick shower when she got home late. I decided to stop asking questions and start looking for answers. The next day, I called a private investigator. I gave him her schedule and told him to follow her discreetly. 3 days later, the investigator called me. His voice was calm but serious. "You might want to sit down for this, Mr. Hale," he said. He sent me photos, my wife having dinner with a man I didn't recognize, holding his hand across the table. Then another photo, both of them walking into a hotel together. My hands shook as I scrolled through them. The proof was right there. The woman who said I had no right to ask where she was going was sneaking off to cheat. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I decided to play along. I wanted her to think I was still clueless. That evening, I greeted her warmly when she got home. She acted normal, kissed me on the cheek, and said she was exhausted from work. I smiled and said, "You should rest, you've been working so hard lately." She nodded, unaware of what I already knew. For the next week, I quietly gathered more evidence. The investigator sent me photos, videos, and even call logs. It turned out her colleague was a married man named Daniel, someone from her office. They had been seeing each other for almost 3 months. I could have confronted her then, but I wanted to make sure her lies had nowhere to hide. When I had enough proof, I decided it was time to act. I invited her parents, her sister, and a few close friends for dinner. I told them it was a surprise for Emily's recent promotion. She loved attention, so she agreed happily. She even dressed up, smiling proudly as she walked into the dining room, completely unaware of what was coming. Halfway through dinner, I stood up and cleared my throat. "Before we celebrate," I said, "I think it's only fair that we talk about honesty in a marriage." Emily frowned, confused. Then I connected my phone to the TV and played a short video, the footage of her and Daniel walking into the hotel together. The room fell silent. Her mother gasped. Her sister covered her mouth. Emily froze, eyes wide, color draining from her face. "Do you still think I'm not allowed to ask where you're going?" I asked quietly. She didn't respond. Tears welled up in her eyes, and she began stammering excuses. "It's not what it looks like, Mark." But it was too late. Everyone had seen the truth. The woman who once mocked me for asking questions was now standing in front of her own family, completely exposed. After everyone left, she begged me to talk privately. She cried, said it was a mistake, that she didn't mean to hurt me. I listened, but my heart was done. I had spent years giving her love, trust, and respect, only for her to throw it all away for cheap attention. "You said I wasn't your owner," I told her calmly. "You're right. I'm not. And I never will be again." The next morning, I handed her the divorce papers. She didn't argue this time. She just sat there, quiet, defeated. I packed her things and set them by the door. She left without looking back. The house felt empty afterward, but strangely peaceful. For the first time in months, I slept soundly. A few weeks later, I heard that Daniel's wife had found out too. She divorced him and took everything in the settlement. Both Emily and Daniel lost their jobs because the affair violated company policy. It seemed poetic, two people who thought they were untouchable brought down by their own arrogance. Months have passed since then. I've rebuilt my life slowly. I focused on my work, my friends, and rediscovering who I was before all the lies. Sometimes, I still remember her words, "You're not my owner." She was right, but she forgot something important. I wasn't her owner, but I was her husband. And trust is the one thing you can't betray and expect to keep someone's love. In the end, her freedom cost her everything. My silence was my revenge, and the truth destroyed her better than anger ever could.